Hello and welcome to episode 169 of the Daily Sales Message, where every single day, for 169 days in a row now, I've provided you with a piece of simple and actionable advice that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff. And if this is your first time listening to this podcast, then mosey on down to Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Find the previous episodes. They're all there. If you enjoy this one, so let's see if you enjoy it first of all. Let's not go crazy. But if you do enjoy this one, there are, of course, 168 other podcast episodes that you might also find useful. And definitely the stuff I talk about is designed to be instantly actionable, completely free, and I hate theory. You won't ever leave a podcast thinking, well, that's okay for you, James, but what am I going to do? Generally, you should be leaving this podcast feeling inspired, fired, and thinking, do you know what? I am going to do. I'm going to change that now. This is awesome. And that's exactly what I want for you. Right, let's not get too deep, because today we're talking about ignorance and the fact that ignorance is my superpower. And this is something that I say to my Clear Sales Message consultancy clients in particular, and it serves me very well. When I begin a Clear Sales Message project, put my teeth back in, the start of the process is I ask a very defined set of questions that I've honed over many years so I can dismantle somebody's business and understand it and put it through my frameworks and structures so we can explain it in a clear way. In doing so, I ask stupid, obvious, basic, simple questions that are seemingly laughable but very important. What is a clear sales message? Why would I need one? How do I create one? Can't I just create it myself? Questions of that order where really basic, simple and obvious, but I'm sure if I ask you them about your own business, you probably couldn't tell me. What do you do? How do you do it? Why should I choose you? Why do you charge the way you charge? Can't I just do this myself? Wow, you're expensive. Whatever. Some pretty standard basic buy questions, but they could stall you, potentially. They could stall you. So, for me, ignorance is my superpower. I'm going to ask the basic, simple questions. I had a client recently where we're literally talking about they work with brands who want to create memes, for example. So my first question was, what's a meme? What is a meme? What's the point of it? What's the history of it? Where do they come from? What are they used for? Blah, blah, blah. We have to dig into the weeds here. We can't presume a level of understanding of anything. And as the seller, we have to be the expert, the knowledgeable person about what we're talking about. So we've really got to cover off those bases. So the actionable takeaway for you today is to think about, in your own business, what are the seemingly basic, obvious questions that you get asked? Can you actually answer them? What's the product or service that you offer? Why does it exist? What's the problem that you solve? Why would anybody need this? Could they get away delaying it or not using it, etc.? Really simple, basic, obvious questions that your buyer may have, because your buyer is, by definition, an uneducated layperson in this scenario. They're not an expert on what you do. That's why they're coming to you in the first place. So using ignorance as your superpower, ask the ignorant, stupid, seemingly obvious questions and have those answers ready, because that will put you in a really good position to succeed. And definitely from my experience, talking to my clients, asking them ridiculous questions like, what do you mean? What is a meme? What is a clear sales message? What's this? What's that? That's when we really get to the heart of the matter, and that is where the true basic level of understanding comes from. So that's it for this episode of the Daily Sales Message. Let me just check my notes. Tomorrow, an oldie but goodie. Now, I didn't create this at all. It was created by people far more intelligent than me, I'm sure. But there's 5 sentences that I want to talk to you about tomorrow. 5 very important sentences. We'll cover them in tomorrow's episode of the podcast. Tune in for that. In the meantime, if you haven't already, go to sellingconfidencescore.com. That's sellingconfidencescore.com. There's a 2-minute 20 yes/no question quiz you can take across 4 key areas of selling. It will tell you how well you're doing or how well you're not doing perhaps, but more importantly, it'll give you a free action plan, no obligation, absolutely free action plan with actual real things that you can do to improve your selling confidence and your performance. That's sellingconfidencescore.com. Go over there, check it out. Thank you for listening or watching this episode all the way to the end. I do appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow for another exciting edition of the Daily Sales Message.